Hello. My lighting is kind of weird because my thing is really low. This might actually be too low. Let me... Oh, but then that's in my face. Oh, crud. Hang on. How bad is it if I turn this off? Because it's like... I mean, it's not great. It's not terrible. Wait. Okay. First of all, Soot Sprite joins his outdoor brethren in the jar. These three boys also have one other thing in common. Oh, wait, maybe... Oh, that's good. There we go. Okay. If I turn the brightness down, it's not like... The other thing that these boys have in common... They are not on the streets anymore. And they never will be. So, I cried today. Oh, I will tell you more. And the reason that my camera is so low is because I plan on just sitting here, with my phone like this so I can show you guys pictures, videos, things like that. That's why the camera's dropped all the way down today. So it was a bit of a stinker. You know what I should do? Let me put all of these in an album so I'm not, like, flipping back and forth and, like, here's a random picture of, like, I don't know, the back of my car. Make sure I'm only showing you guys what you should see. So this morning, you know, I was really hopeful because he had figured out how to go into the cat carrier, that I was going to wake up and I was going to find him curled up sleeping in the cat carrier. Nope. No and nope. That wasn't a thing. Of course not. Why would it have been? So I could not sleep. Surprising no one. I actually got 4 hours of sleep last night. So I am thriving. And I woke up at like 6. I didn't need to be up for a little while. I woke up at 6 and I looked on the camera and he is hiding behind the litter box. And I was like, God damn. So I knew at that point I needed to get up and I needed to start trying to get him into a carrier because there was no way I was going to bring that dog crate. It just wasn't going to happen. So it's so early. My eye is literally twitching. Like it's just, and I did not sleep well last night either. I like got up at like 5. It was a rough night. So anyway, here's a few other things that happened since we all spoke last. So he pushed the litter box forward and he would hide behind it. What
you doing?
And there would just be little squeaky meows coming from behind the litter box, which was adorable.
Hi, Papa.
Boop.
I hear you.
Oh, no worries. You're so good, Emily. All that you missed was the ceremonial plonking of 2 more balls in my jar.
It's okay.
So here this is
Is
where...
your little hiding spot? Yeah? Okay.
So I think...
Is that your little hiding?
At some... That...
Hey.
He, like, squeaks.
What's up, sweet boy?
And he definitely was not, like, tracking me, right? Very minimal.
You just hanging out?
So I also did this test. And again, you know, not, you know, whatever.
Oh, snowflakes.
So this
I'm
morning...
an arts and crafts master. Why do you think I always have this glue gun stuck to my
Hi,
arm?
Jules.
Ugh.
Megano2 hug.
Thank you so much for the 22-month resub, friend. You're just in time, Petrichor. All that you've missed is the ceremonial adding of 2 more balls that have been removed.
I forgot to bring something to give you a scratch.
Yeah, I forgot to bring, like, some kind of way of petting him. And he was also like, that's okay, I don't really want you to pet me. He's like, actually, I'm kind of over you right now.
Handsome.
Like, I'm kind of over this. Oh, hold on. Was there a meow?
Hello, handsome.
Yeah,
Hi. I got a squeaky now.
This was interesting to me because this was in low light. Hi, Tigress. So this was this morning.
Hi, bud.
Well, this was at 1 a.m. No, you're not. You're coming in just in time. I've added his balls. I've added his balls to the jar. And I've just been showing videos from last night. I'm trying to give everyone a chance to, like, come in. So you've missed the, as I call it, the plonking of the balls.
I missed the opportunity for talking.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not talking to you anymore, but I
didn't.
had to take his food out.
Oh, I didn't.
Ballless and flawless.
Hi.
I also tried to make the cat carrier more comfortable by putting some stuff in there for him, and he was like, not about that. He didn't use the cat carrier at all.
I don't use it.
So it was interesting because whenever I would leave, he would, like, sit up and be like, wait, where are you going? Like, I don't want you here, but wait, why are you leaving? Like, his little... just would peek. Anyway, this gave me vibes. I have a picture of Patch at one point, staring at the closed blinds in James's office, like, looking out the window, but the blinds were down. And he's just staring at the... like, bless his heart. This was at 6:40 this morning.
Arts and crafts master.
Hi,
Why do you think I always have
Georgina.
this glue gun stuck to my arm? Ugh.
Hi.
Oh hi.
Hi, Papa. Hi. You had a rough night? Oh, goodness, I'm sorry.
Thank you for the bits.
Hello.
So overnight, he pushed his litter box further forward. He used the litter box. He peed in the litter box appropriately, which is huge. Hi, Asmati Games. How are you? It stunk. Unaltered male piss is a smell that is not easily forgotten. It lingers. So it is not a good smell. So like that was the first thing I did this morning was I removed the litter box and I like put it outside. I was like not dealing with this. But he also decided I put a cage mounted water dish because I figured it might be better than the one on the floor that he seems to step in or make a mess with. I didn't save the video, but he ended up digging water out of that dish. And of course it kept refilling. So there's a mess this morning.
Hi, Papa.
Little squeakers, hold on.
How are you? You're so brave. Oh, you're so brave. Oh, Shay.
Just a little
You're
like
a stinky boy too.
eh.
I did some stinky boy things. Oh, goodness. All right. We have to be so brave now, okay? This is the start of your new life, okay? So you're gonna be brave?
He's like, I'm not agreeing to anything. So I actually set my phone up. And I tried to initially. He talks a lot in these. To get him, he's sitting here. He's like hard to see. To get him to go into the carrier. Spoiler alert, does not work. I think I may have in fact ruined Pippin's carrier for her for forever. Not really. I know I can clean it. But I eventually got him into Pippin's carrier. So it's the biggest carrier, and I was able to get him into that. This was a pain in the butt trying to... And I'm trying not to have the door open too much because I didn't want him to run out of the cage. And then I'm trying to catch him in my breezeway. And it was just... So I was like problem solving here. And this is mostly just like... me trying to get him into this carrier. And I'm like... So this was actually good, and I gave the shelter this information too. I'm taking a broom handle at this point, and I am poking him in the butt. I am tapping him. I'm attempting to get him to move forward. His cage was covered. I didn't know if it mattered because of his vision, but I figured it was nicer. He did not one time hiss at me, bite at me, swat at me, nothing. He froze, like he stiffened up so that he wouldn't move. He was like, no, I don't want to like do this, but he never once got nasty. And I'm like, that is huge because he is terrified and his first thought isn't, I need to bite in order to avoid it, you know? So like, that was fantastic news. And I told the shelter that and they were like, that's honestly really great. So
I made a big mess.
Yeah.
I know.
Just little meows. So what I end up doing here, right? I have big like bite proof safe gloves. Hold on.
We can do it. I promise. Come on. I know.
I'm like, oh, you angel. And he starts to go in, and I'm like, yes,
So brave together. Huh?
go. And I'm like, damn it. And he popped back out, and I was like, and James was watching.
So brave together.
James was watching on the security camera, and he's like,
I know.
use the bigger cage. Can you hear him from here?
Yeah. We can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I try a few more times with the littler cage, because it already smelled like him,
No.
and he was just not about it. So, eventually,
You can do it.
he's like, lady,
I promise.
I don't wanna. So, instead, now Pippin's carrier's in. Do you see the size difference? This one I
We're
used
gonna try the bigger one.
This one I used to use with my guinea pigs. So this mess, by the way, is him pulling all of his water out of this dish and wetting some of his food. So, like, all of that stuff, that's all water. That is all water. And that is soggy food pieces that are, like, you know, mush on the floor. He made a mess. He really did. I'm grateful that this is water and it wasn't pee. Water's easier to clean up, and I don't have to worry about getting it all over myself. But look at how big Pippin's carrier is. Like, it doesn't fit in the dog crate, right? And I'm like, here you go. Like, get in here. This is a lot nicer. Lot better. Does smell like another cat. Sorry about that. But, like, could you just... I also should mention that last night, I had to take his food away at midnight, and around 11, he did actually eat. He ate the rest of the squeeze treat that I put in there, and he ate some of the dry food. So he was adjusting enough to eat and feel okay doing that, which is fabulous. I felt a little bad having to take his food away, because I'm like, I'm sure he was... So here's my broom. And I'm, like, trying to hold the door open. And look at him, he's just, so I'm petting him now with it. Like, and he's just like, what is the sky stick doing? Why is this, look at him, he's like, the hell is this? But not mean, not nasty, confused. So I'm like, alright, let me try and, like, corner him. I still, of course, need to reach in to close the door, which is hard because I can't push it flush, right? Because I need to be able to close the door. So this was a little bit of, like, finagling.
Please trust me.
I'm like, trust me, like, you can do it, I promise. And then what I was able to do is I took the broom again, and I used it to kind of push the cage and the door with it, and he did it. He goes in. Like, I had to kind of, like, I had to kind of still, like, get the booty. Like, this is so loud to listen back to, the poor thing. Oh wait, no, this wasn't when he went in. I did get him going in on camera. There we go. Again. Like, I had to, and then
You got it.
you can see him looking right there. He's like, and I can't leave the other cage door open because I don't want him to run out. And it's just like, this would have been so much easier if James was here and we could have had 2 people doing this. So then I reach in with my gloved hand and push on the, and we got him.
You did it! You did it, son!
And then he had a whole story to tell me.
You are the bravest boy. Yeah.
He's like,
So
why
good.
am I in another thing?
Okay. What's up, bud? Yeah, you're being so brave. You are. And I'm proud. I am. Yeah. You're so good. You are so good.
So
Hi.
this was us at the shelter in the parking lot because the shelter opened at 8 for spay and neuter, and so it was 7:50. I was trying to get a good picture of him. I got a couple.
Okay. Okay.
The nervous little mouth licks and all of the so here are some of the pictures I got of him. Oh, he screamed. Why did my enclosure get smaller? Oh, my love.
Hey, can we have a little talk?
And then we had a little talk where I was like,
I love you so much.
you know, I love you.
I am so proud of you.
I am proud of you.
And thank you for trusting me.
Thank you for
I know
trusting
it's really
me.
scary.
I know it's been scary.
And we probably were not very happy.
And you were not very happy with me.
But I'm so glad I got to help you, son.
I'm so glad I got to help you.
I'm proud of you always.
I'm like, you're gonna have such a good life.
So good.
You're gonna be brave. You're gonna be so good. Do. And you can hear dogs barking because people were getting their animals there.
Hey, can we have a little talk?
Adopt this baby. Do it. So, I then went in to the shelter. No pictures of that, obviously. And who should be the person at the desk but the wonderful human who helped me with Tigger. Okay? I don't think that this will get anyone any idea about who or where my shelter is. Her name is Joyce, and she is a freaking saint of a human being. Okay? She is bottled sunshine. When you talk to her, like, you can tell she loves her job. She always sounds so happy, and she is just, I adore her. So I walk in, and there were a lot of people there to bring their cats. The shelter offers a low-cost spay and neuter, so, like, spays are $95 and neuters are $75, which is a lot less than, like, going to a typical vet. So there was probably, like, 8 other cats there, and there were a couple of dogs. And so it was kind of hectic. And I waited until everybody else was taken care of. And then I walk up and she's like, "Who do you have here?" And I kid you not, I start to say, so, and she looks at me and she's like, "You have Soot Sprite, don't you?" Like, she remembered me from Tigger. She remembered me from the other, "Hi, Pippin," interactions that we had. And I was like, "I do have Soot Sprite." And she's like, "You were able to get him?" And I said, "Yes." I'm like, "Actually, kind of a funny story." And I told her about how we trapped him early and how he's been staying in a dog kennel and how he has been honestly such an angel. I'm like, he is very nervous. I said he does take time to warm up, like, for sure. He's not going to bounce back super quick, like, especially in a shelter environment. Like, he's gonna be nervous. Hi. But I was like, he has also been nothing but kind. I said he did not once try to bite me, swat at me, hiss at me. He never did anything that was, like, mean. I said, if I was doing something, and I told her about how I had to use the broom handle to get him into, like, the carrier. And I was like, all that he would do is he would stiffen. And like he would stiffen up, like, no, dogs do it too, where they're like, nope, I'm not moving, and they kind of like dig in. I said, but he never once, he didn't even like puff up. He was just like, I don't want to move. Fair enough. I had to fill out paperwork. And then we were talking again, and I was like, you know, can I ask a favor? I said, can you, instead of doing, and I wasn't really sure how they were going to do it. I was like, instead of treating him as a TNR, I said, can the vet look at him first and see, first of all, about his vision? That would preclude him from being put back outside. But can you also have like the behaviorist look at him to see if he's an adoptable candidate? Because I would really prefer him not getting the ear tick if he is like a good candidate. I said, I'm like, he's a very handsome cat. I'm like, I think that would make him more adoptable than, and she was like, no, that's the plan. She said, you know, we're going to have both teams look at him before the surgery because they don't want him tired. They don't want him loopy. They don't want him in pain because that could change, obviously, how he reacts. Like, he could be a perfectly fine, sweet angel baby, and now he's in pain because he was just neutered, and now he's lashing out and he's misbehaving because he's under sedation and he's, you know, not feeling well. And so she was like, you know, the vet team and the cattery manager are on standby for today, knowing that he was coming. So you like, we'll do all of that first. Perfect. And then I came home. I gave them, I actually made a couple of scratching boards for them, like with the box cutter thing that we have that we 3D printed. And they were very grateful and they loved that. I gave them 3. And I gave them one of our cat's favorite catnip toys, like a brand new version. And, you know, she was very appreciative. And I was like, you know, I really just appreciate like what you're doing. Cause I know that shelters are clogged. I also went ahead and I talked to her about the other cats in my TNR, plans. And I said, you know, these ones should be more straightforward TNRs. They should just go to, you know, the shelter, get neutered, get released. That's that. And then I told her about Gandalf and how he decided he did not want to be an outdoor cat anymore. And she kind of laughed. She goes, yeah, sometimes they do decide that. And I told her about how it all of a sudden fell to my husband and I, to me, to do everything, to find him a home, to vet everyone that we talked with, to like reach out to people and try and do it. And I was like, you know, it's one of my concerns moving forward with TNR is because what happens should another one be like, actually, I don't want to be outside anymore. I'm like, I can't do that again long term. I said, if that happens again, I'm like, I don't think it's going to, but I didn't think it was going to happen with Gandalf. I said, if that happens again, can I call you? Can I tell you, hey, look, I've got a friendly cat that I TNR'd. He said, no, I'm done. I don't want to be outside. And she was like, sure. She goes, we don't always have like space, you know, but if we do have space, she says, we really love to help the outdoor kitties who don't want to be outdoors anymore. She said, because a lot of places don't have programs or opportunities for those cats. And she was like, you know, it's something that we would, you know, we always like to try and help out those cats. So that was something I was hopeful for too, because basically now, say I take Birch, I take him, he gets neutered, I let him go outside, and he's like, excuse me, actually, I know I was only inside for like 8-10 hours. I loved it. Can I come back in? I now know if I let him back in, I have a resource. I have someone, and I feel like even if they can't take him right away, right? Because again, I do understand shelters are full, people, you know, dump at, like, I get that they might not be able to be like, yeah. But even if I could be like, I can keep him here for a week or 2, can you make room in that time? Which more than likely would be a yes. Like, to know that it would be a short-term thing that I would not have to find a home. I wouldn't have another Gandalf situation is huge. So I was really grateful that I spoke with her for a while, and that we have that lined up as well, because that makes trapping everybody else that I have to trap that much less anxiety inducing, because I no longer have to be like, well, what do I do with them if they like pull a Gandalf on me? So that was great. Now the news that I know everyone is waiting for. It is a short stream. It's a short stream because I do have to go back to the shelter. And sign paperwork for him to stay with them. He was assessed by the team, and they agree that he is scared but friendly. They said it will take some time for him. They can tell it will take time for him to adjust to in like the environments. But he showed no sign of aggression. He showed no sign of anything that would preclude them from being like, yeah, we can't keep him, like he's nasty, he's this, he's that. So I have to get there. I have to be there at like 4:30 to sign paperwork, and I have to pay. Because they don't have you pay beforehand in case they have other things that need to get done by like the staff or whatever. I know. Well, I would have to go back anyway because they have Pippin's cat carrier. I'd have to go and pick that up anyway because he was hanging out in that until it was his time to be fixed. So she called me at like 2:30 to tell me this, and she's like, I just want you to know he's just going back now for his neuter. And I figured he would probably be last because he was going to be evaluated. He's gonna have such a good life. I know. I prayed that and like just put into the universe, right? Like I kept saying out loud, I'm like, get him a family that would love him like us. And I don't say that because I'm proud or cocky or anything like that. I say that because I have an FIV positive cat who has medical complications. He's my cat. I have a cat with IBD that requires daily medication, prescription food, but like, they're my pets. They're never going outside. They're never going to be without. They're never going to be neglected. Like, that's what I want for him, is someone who will love him regardless of any health things because guess what? Health things are going to come up with pets. And I'm like, just give him a family that's not going to put him outside, that's going to love him, that's going to treat him like these guys, you know? So I do not know his FIV status yet. Because they are running that now, with the other stuff. So I do not know his FIV status as of yet. I don't know if I will. I'm sure I can ask. So she told me all of this, and I said, okay, first of all, thank you guys so much for keeping him, for being willing again to help out. It's appreciated. I said, I know that it doesn't really matter because you guys are keeping him regardless. I said, but what did the vet say about his eyesight? And she looked at the thing and she goes, so the vet said that he's not blind, but he is vision impaired. So I was 1,000% right on the money. I was right. So they were like, and it's one of those things where she was like, it's hard to say exactly what that impairment looks like for a cat. Like, does he see shapes? Does he see light and shadow? Like, does he see, like, what? They don't know what he sees exactly, but they just know that the vision receptors they don't work the same way as other cats. So it's not like they can say exactly how he's vision impaired. But he is vision impaired. We called it. Not surprised. I'm not either. Well, this is like kind of, so here's the thing. I'm like, if I can work, I want to volunteer with this rescue. They're about 15-20 minutes away from my house with traffic. It's not bad. I want to volunteer with them at some point, whether that's just, I'm a photographer. I'd love to take intake pictures or adoption pictures, or, you know, maybe that's playing with some fearful cats. Like, whatever it is, I want to help out there. But, like, Pippin has a spring in the hall, like, right there. I can see her. It's it's really funny. But, like, if I can continue to help out of my backyard like this, and, like, do these sorts of things, I will be my own little... I am my own little tiny shelter, my own little tiny force for good. And yes, thank you to everyone here who donated, who shared the donation, who lurked here in chat while I was talking about it, who hyped up the donations, all of that. This would not have been possible without you guys, because as you know, with the way my pet situation is, I could not have spent $200 out of pocket right now when I have 2 cats that are constantly at the vet right now. I just had to put Patch down. Like, those costs add up. And our care credit is reaching its limit at this point, and Maple's gonna have a dental soon, I'm hoping, and so it's like, this is a win for him most of all. Like, first and foremost, he won. He won no longer being on the street. Can you imagine being a street cat and not being able to see properly? My girl loves her springs, chat. My girl loves her springs. Okay, bye. I can't tell you, I'll open up the hall closet to get the vacuum out, and there's like a spring in there because it goes under the door. The idea of not being able to see as a cat is horrifying, but outside, I can't even imagine. Yeah. And again, it makes sense why he panicked so bad when he was trapped, why he did try so hard to escape. He must have been like, maybe I made a wrong turn, maybe I did something. It made sense why he wanted to hide in the corners and why he was too afraid of, you know, things that he couldn't, and why he was always so cautious. That was something that Saren and I talked about. He would stop and put his little paw on things first and then take a step. And it was like he could, to again, you know, he could obviously see the trap because he knew, or whiskers or whatever. He could sense that there was something there, but there was always a cautious, like, paw tap, like, moving a little bit before he did anything else. Like, there's a video I have where he got, he had, blankets or towels in his carrier. I put those in my basement in the wash, and I forgot to wash them. Oh god, I gotta do that before I leave. And he was like, "What is this?" And then he was like, "Oh, it's soft. It's okay." Everything for him was just like, "What is this?" And then the follow through. So I'm grateful. I know that he's going to have some challenges still. He's going to have to adjust to shelter life. He's going to have to adjust to just everything. And eventually adjust to a home and new people. So I'm just hoping and praying and putting out into the universe that the right people will adopt him and love him exactly how he is. And have patience with him, honestly, because he's gonna need it. You know, he's gonna have to figure out his way around a house. He's gonna have to figure out, like, where everything is, and it's just, yeah. Palm stash in the hall closet. On the floor, yeah. They all still end up behind the noodle in the closet, yeah. That's not a bad idea to put a pool noodle on the door so that they don't... Because unfortunately, I tried to do the pool noodle under my furniture, but the pool noodles are too small. So I every once in a while have to use like a tool and like get all of her springs out from under the couch and chairs because she just knocks them all in. So yeah, really good and exciting news today. For Soot and like his I know that you guys will understand this. I am thrilled. I am elated. I'm also sad that I don't get to see him anymore. It's part of the whole like foster system. Like when I fostered Gandalf, that was like one of the things that was hard for me is like I'm gonna miss his little meows and I'm gonna miss Soot Sprite's little meows and like his little like chirpy happy sounds, but at the same time I know that I could have given him a fantastic life. He could have had a great home here with us. I also know it's not fair to put that on Artemis and Pippin or Maple if he's FIV positive. I also know, and this is really where it comes from, it is not a good idea because financially we would not be able to do what all needs to be done. Like if not we would we would, but we'd go broke kind of thing. Like if he ends up needing dental and Maple, like it ends up being too much. And that's part of being a responsible pet person is knowing that it's not good for your pets and it's not smart for you for whatever reason and just being like, okay, this is the best thing. So like there's a part of me that feels awful because my brain's like, no one's gonna love him the way we could. No one's gonna what if he ends up in a bad home? What if they don't love him the same? Like it always, you're always gonna worry about that. But I have to put my faith in the shelter for them doing the right thing. And I have to think of like how Gandalf has his people and he is so loved and so happy, and I just have to imagine. I think there might be a part of me too that always worries because he's like a fancy sought after breed. Like Siamese cats he's not like a domestic short hair. He's not like, so I worry that like the wrong kind of person's gonna be like, I want him. I don't know. Yep. Absolutely. Loving him means being the person that noticed, the person that saw he had a problem, the person who was able to step in and say yes, and honestly to the shelter for being able to be like, yeah, let's do it. So Emily, I would love to do something for them. And I will once again have to talk to my tax guy, which is my dad. Because I don't know how that would work, because I could obviously tell you guys all the shelter and you guys can donate, but like you said, that gets slightly doxing, in just the sense that people, well, I guess there's multiple ones. Let me take a quick look. How many locations are there? Because if there are 3 locations and they do vary in their locations in my state. So, but yeah, I would love to figure out a way that we can help them get some extra money for sure. They're a good shelter, though. Yes, we know they'll do their best. Yeah, I trust in the shelter to disclose. Yeah. He is not blind. He is vision impaired, though. He does not see properly. They just can't necessarily say, like, there's not, it's not like a human, you know, like, read the chart. So they can't necessarily say, like, what his vision problems are, but they just know that, you know, looking at his eyes, that he does not see the way that he should. He's also friendly. He's, and, you know, honestly, him being timid and scared also makes a lot more sense, considering that he can't see properly. Like, imagine going to, like, a shelter, and you can't necessarily see exactly what's happening, but you can smell, you can hear, and it's gotta just be like, yeah, Pippin walked by. Pippin walked by, and also played with a spring. So, but yeah, he, cat or dog related blind bag item, and the proceeds go to the shelter. We could, yeah. Like, again, I'll talk with my dad about how, like, legally and logistically this could work, because, again, I have to figure out, like, it's all for tax purposes. Because, like, if I sell on my website, say, raffle tickets, right? Say it's $5, enters you into a raffle to win a custom plushie that I made. Unfortunately, even if I then say that all that money is donated, like, say we make $100, and I'm like, okay, well, my business made $100, and then I donated $100 to the shelter, the government does not look at that as equal. They're like, oh, well, you made $100 profit. We have to tax you on that $100. Oh, you donated $100? You don't get $100, like, it's not, they're not even. Because our government sucks. It's like you have to make so many donations for it to, like, count against how much you make. So I would have to figure out, like, a way of it sucks. It sucks because it would be so easy for me to set up a thing on my website of, like, buy a raffle with, like, all of the profits, you know, going to the shelter, and the government would be like, well, I see that you say we made $500 on that fundraiser. The government would be like, well, you made $500, and I could be like, yeah, but I donated it all, and they're like, but you made $500, and you're like, but I didn't keep it. What do you mean? What do you mean? So we have to figure out, like, we'll have to figure out a way to do it. But yeah, I definitely would love to do something. And it's hard too, because, like, even if I do something through, like, if I talk to the shelter and I get them on Tiltify, the name of the shelter's still there. Do you know what I mean? So I'll have to I'll have to figure that out. I will have to figure out the best way that we can do something. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, I am only here for an hour today because I have to go and sign Soot Sprite's paperwork. I have to go and sign him over and pay for, you know, the services that they provided today. And I'll probably cry. I'll probably cry getting, like, you know, the empty carrier back, but it's gonna be good. It's good. It's sad because it's sad because I love him already. Like, my heart is big enough to love them all. But at the same time, my heart is happy because I know that he's gonna have a good life now. You know what we should do? I think it might depend on, because he went in for surgery. So I think it might depend on if he's, like, in recovery, like, how out of it he is, you know? But I'll definitely ask. And if not, you know, I had a lovely little talk with him in the car before we went in. And I told him all my feels there just in case. I think this picture. So, I haven't shown you guys this yet. I remember telling you all about this. I had this idea of making a TNR memory book. I haven't really started too much yet. Other than just like putting, you know, this is for Maple, that's for Artemis, this is for Maple, Artemis. Did I not pick one for Pippin? Anyway, Gandalf was next. Oh no, you know why? Gandalf came before Pippin. So here's Gandalf. They obviously, I'm going to do, like, the pages are going to be fit properly in here. These pages are going to get mounted to another page. And I'm going to type up a little thing about each cat as well. I just wanted, like, I literally had saved, that was his on the carrier. Like, when they tape their name, on the cage, so that way, like, Soot Sprite had the same thing. His name was taped on the cage. So yeah, technically Gandalf came first and then Pippin. Pippin came after Gandalf. And then we have Tigger. And then we have Tigger with there was his tape from the shelter. So I have my camera. And I have an app that will allow me to print Do we like this picture or like the one of him lying down? Not any of those where he looks... I have these where he's sitting up or lying down. Maybe the lying down, I get more of him in it. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see. Because I think I get more of his body. Sitting up, laying down, he looks a little scared. Okay. He's a Bubs. Okay. And now I say print. And it's gonna do its thing, and we can pick out... I've got little kitty scrapbook paper. There's what, 2 of each sheet? So I haven't used this one yet. I haven't used that one yet. Or this one. This is a Kodak Mini. Kodak Mini Shot Series 3. It is. It's really cool. It's not a lot of money, too. And then look, it's all done. I think... Oh. Also, do I still have it? Garbage hasn't gone out yet. Yeah. It's really interesting how this works. So, it has like 3 sheets of color. And then it prints it. So it prints like the image one at a time, if you will. I have a... Hang on, I took a video and I sent it to James because, of course, as soon as I used up like the last of the last one, I wanted to see how it worked. I like knowing how things work, you know? So it's actually really fun. This was Gandalf's picture. And if you look, you can actually see his face like in the print. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I could print out more than one. I think maybe this one, because the background is so dark. I feel like doing this might be like this one. This one feels too dark. Although this one has a Siamese cat on it, so maybe it's this one. Which one do you think out of these two? And then I have to go. I have to go sign his paperwork and get my trap back. That's a good question. I don't know what happens. No, it just becomes... No, it doesn't work quite that way. The one with the bigger kitty heads. How's the TNR going? I'm leaving stream here in a minute because I just got another one trapped. I just got another one neutered, and I got another one into a shelter to find a forever home. So we've got 3 sets of marbles in here now. 3 cats. Oh, God, guys, that's 6 cats off my streets. Because I also own 3 cats. That is Maple. That is Artemis. That is Gandalf. Then Pippin. Then Tigger. And now Soot Sprite. 6 cats are no longer on the street. Because of me. You know, sometimes in life you don't feel like you're doing anything. Especially I feel like when you're chronically ill. When you're anxious and you can't do like the things that most people consider like typical and worthy of praise and achievement. But I've got 6 cats off the street. And they are all also fixed, so they're not contributing to the population. And guess what else, chat? I'm going to try and trap another one this week and bring them to the other shelter because they are open for TNR this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, we're going to try and add more to this jar. It's hard. It's really hard. And know that you are not alone in that. How am I thinking about doing it like Maple, Artemis, Gandalf, Pip. I'm thinking giving everyone 2 pages. That might not be, I'm going to need more pages. I'm going to need more pages. Thank you, Kenya. I would love to stay and fill you in. I have to go, though. I actually have to go sign some paperwork because Soot Sprite, I mean, if you want to watch the VOD, it's only an hour-long VOD because I'm leaving. The TLDR, Soot was a freaking angel baby. He did not bite, snarl, hiss, or get nasty at me once. I told the shelter this. He did very well at his assessment. They did note that he was a little skittish, a little nervous, and that he will probably be a cat that takes a while to warm up to people. Fair. Especially because he is vision impaired. He is not blind, but he does not see correctly. He is vision impaired. And so it was the right call. I saw it. I'm proud of myself for recognizing it and for being like, something is not right. Something isn't right. So we have more marbles in the jar, and we also realize that every single owner of one of these marbles is also no longer on the street. Thanks to chat. Thanks to, you know, Gandalf, Tigger, and now Soot Sprite. No longer on the streets. No longer a demon in the sheets either, you know? That's 6 cats so far. Because I have 3 cats too. That's 6 cats from my neighborhood. Wild. But I have to go. I have to go sign paperwork and pick up Pippin's carrier that I had to use for him. Nope. Nope. He will be staying with them. He was neutered. And he will be adjusting there. But I do have some info. Wait, was there an Umbreon? Oh my god, I wasn't even paying attention. Awkward. Anyway, I love you all. I'm so sorry I have to go. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do normal stream things at normal stream times. You know, maybe I'll catch another cat overnight. I don't know. It'll depends on who comes. All right. I love you all a lot. Kenya, if you want to call me, I'm literally about to hop in the car and I can fill you in on other things. Okay. Okay. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a really good time zone. Okay. And thank you all again for your help.